The 2016 Honda Civic Coupe. It's no secret that the Honda Civic has had a bit of a rough patch, with the past few generations not being received as well as expected in the public eye, with the 9th gen being so bad, that the entire generational cycle lasted no more than 4 years. All of that changed when Honda showed up to the 2015 New York Auto Show with the 2015 Civic Coupe Concept, a model that previewed the upcoming 10th gen coupe. By the time the 2015 Los Angeles Auto Show kicked off, Honda was ready to show the world the production version of the 10th gen coupe, and boy did it impress. To put it simply, Honda came correct with a new aggressive exterior design, a refined and beautiful looking interior, and 2 new engines that are borrowed from the Civic Sedan. More important, however, is the fact that the new Civic Coupe gets that 1.5-liter, turbocharged, 4-banger, making this generation the first to come with forced induction straight from the factory. The generation evolution of the Civic Coupe couldn't come at a better time for Honda. The competition in the compact coupe segment is spread somewhat thin, but the offerings available are stronger than ever. By the time 2017 models hit showrooms, Toyota will have an all-new Toyota 86 and Subaru the BRZ, originally the FRS prior to the discontinuation of Scion, and Kia will have the updated Forte Coupe. If you set price and horsepower aside and focus purely on aesthetics and functionality, the new Civic could even compete with more luxurious models like the BMW 2 Series or the Mercedes C-Class Coupe in their entry-level forms. Okay, so comparing a Civic against a Bimmer of Merc might be a little bit of a reach, but we'll talk more about that later on. For now, let's dive in and take a look at the new Civic and everything that it brings to the table. Continue reading to learn more about the 2016 Honda Civic Coupe. Exterior. The 2016 Honda Civic Coupe left retains many of the awesome features we saw on the concept version right. The funky grille, multi-layered rear end, and sloping roofline are all present. The 2016 Honda Civic Coupe retains many of the awesome features we saw on the concept version. The funky grille, multi-layered rear end, and sloping roofline are all present. That grille, however, is unchanged from the Civic Sedan. In fact, Honda says everything from the A-pillars forward is unchanged from the sedan. That doesn't matter, though, as the front's design perfect fits with the theme of the Civic Coupe. Honda has reworked the coupe in all the right ways. The car's wheelbase is 2.9 inches longer, the body is 1.9 inches wider, and the front overhang is 1.4 inches shorter. The wheels have been moved to the corners, giving the car a wide footprint, which should lead to greater stability. The sloping roof is an inch lower than the Civic sedans, contributing to the car's overall, low-slung look. And despite the longer wheelbase, the Civic Coupe is actually 5.5 inches shorter than before. The front design cues of the new Civic left are more dynamic and bring more attitude than the outgoing Civic Coupe right. The dynamic shape of the lights on the new Civic left not only give the rear more attitude compared to the outgoing model right, but also help in reducing drag, thanks to the crisp lines. The rear end styling certainly garners attention. It features C-shaped, LED taillights that stretch across the entire rear end. The dynamic shape of the lights not only give the rear more attitude but help in reducing drag, thanks to the crisp lines. A modest spoiler tops the trunk, helping with aerodynamics and styling. The LED treatment continues up front, with LED daytime running lights. LED headlights are optional as well. The headlights, regardless of lighting source, are now automatic, meaning no more worrying about turning your lights on and off. Optional rain-sensing wipers finish off the deal. The sloping roofline is similar to that of the Toyota 86 and BRZ twins, bottom left, while front and rear profile of the new Civic, bottom, are sportier and more aggressive than most of the competition, including the Kia Forte Coupe. Sedan shown above, bottom right. Compared to the competition, the new Civic Coupe features styling that is similar to other two doors in this segment. The sloping roofline is similar to that of the Toyota 86 and BRZ twins, while front and rear profile of the Civic are sportier and more aggressive than any of the competition, including the Kia Forte Coupe. So, if you're hunting this segment for something that looks sporty and dominating, the Civic is the best way to go. If you prefer to go with a milder, neutral look, then the Kia Forte Coupe might be exactly what you're looking for. But there's more to picking a car than looks alone, so let's take a look at the inside of the new Civic and see how it stacks up. Interior. The familiar blue hue emanates from the cluster, matching the blue color coming from the center-mounted, 7-inch infotainment screen that fully supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The interior has certainly undergone a massive transformation. Gone is the two-tiered dashboard with multiple screens placed haphazardly around the driver. The 2016 Civic Coupe borrows its dash from its four-door brother, and in doing so, becomes far more grown-up without losing its fun factor. Clean lines, well-placed screens and gauges, and stylish cues bring the interior into modern days. The Civic Coupe still uses digital gauges, but in a better way. X and higher trims use a center-mounted TFT screen that digitally shows engine and ground speed via an analog-style tachometer and a fully digital speedometer. The familiar blue hue emanates from the cluster, matching the blue color coming from the center-mounted, 7-inch infotainment screen that fully supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, runs the Pandora app, and has Sirius XM and HD radio. Upper trim levels now come with navigation. In comparison, the BRZ, 86 Twins and the Kia Forte all offer comparable technology and features. Clean lines, well-placed screens and gauges, and stylish cues bring the interior into modern days. Other notable features include an electronic parking brake with an electronic brake hold function that assists in hill starts. X and higher trims have leather door panel inserts with real stitching, the cabin is lit by an overhead LED lamp, and the shifter sports a leather boot. Of course, that's only the beginning of the story. The interior has grown, offering an additional 8.4 cubic feet of passenger room, while the longer wheelbase helps add more than 5 inches of rear seat legroom. Total passenger room for the Civic is now 91.0 cubic feet, just 1.3 cubic feet shy of the passenger room found in the Forte Coupe and a shocking 14.5 cubic feet more than the Toyota 86 and Subaru BRZ. For the most part, all interior dimensions of the Civic run very close to that of the Forte, while they beat out the 86 and BRZ in every category except second-row headroom where the Twins offer 0.4 inches more. Competitive dimensions. Note, all figures are in inches unless otherwise stated. Drivetrain. Matching the new bodywork and interior are two all-new engines for the Civic Coupe. Both are borrowed from the Civic Sedan and kick out the same horsepower and torque specs. Base Civics receive a 2.0-liter DOHC IVTEC 4-cylinder that makes 158 horsepower and 138 pound-feet of torque. That's a marked improvement of 15 horses and 9 pound-feet over the outgoing 1.8-liter. The engine can be had with either a CVT or 6-speed manual transmission. Like the previous generations, the manual is relegated to the lowest LX trim. The 1.5-liter turbo does not come with Honda VTEC valvetrain system, but still kicks out an impressive 174 horsepower and 162 pound-feet of torque thanks to the single-scroll turbo's 16.5 psi of boost. The biggest news, however, is Honda's premium Civic engine. The new mill is a 1.5-liter DOHC 4-cylinder that utilizes direct fuel injection and is turbocharged. Yep, now Honda fanboys can now buy a Civic with a factory-installed turbo. The 1.5-liter turbo does not come with Honda VTEC valvetrain system, but still kicks out an impressive 174 horsepower and 162 pound-feet of torque thanks to the single-scroll turbo's 16.5 psi of boost. That's an improvement of 31 horsepower and 33 pound-feet over last year's 1.8-liter. Sadly, the 1.5-liter isn't offered with the manual transmission. However, initial reports of the updated CVT transmission say it is vastly improved over the 2015 version and offers better shifts when in sport mode. Fuel economy for both engines is typical of any small Honda. The 2.0-liter is estimated to deliver 31 mpg in the city, 41 mpg on the highway, and 35 mpg combined, when mated with the CVT. Opt for the turbocharged 1.5-liter, and the numbers somehow improve by 1 mpg on the highway loop, meaning the turbo Civic Coupe gets 31, 42/35 mpg. Competing performance. Performance-wise, the Civic actually gets the short end of the stick compared to the competition. In entry-level form, the Forte Coupe beats it by 15 ponies and 16 pound-feet, while the twins beat it out by 42 ponies and 13 pound-feet. Upper trim levels of the Civic suffer the same fate, with the range-topping Forte offering 27 horsepower and 33 pound-feet more and the twins offering 31 horsepower more. The range-topping Civic does beat out the twins in the torque department by 4 pound-feet. Note, the 86 BRZ twins only come with 205 horsepower and 158 pound-feet when equipped with a manual transmission. Competing fuel economy. If your primary concern in purchasing your next compact coupe is fuel economy, then look no further than the Honda Civic. Honda has always been a go-to for fuel economy, and in this case, it's clearly evident why. To put things simply, the Civic beats out the competition in fuel economy hands down, pulling up to 10 mpg more in the city, 13 mpg more on the highway, and 10 mpg more combined over the competition. Now that's something to write home about. On a side note, the Civic holds nearly a gallon less, so fill-ups will be just a hair cheaper with better range. All three models run on regular, unleaded gasoline. Safety. Honda has loaded the Civic Coupe with nearly every available safety system in its parts bin. First off, the car is built using Honda's Advanced Compatibility Structure, also known as ACE, that helps redistribute an impact's force around the passenger compartment, keeping occupants safe. Multiple airbags and seatbelts are standard equipment, as part of the Honda Sensing suite of technologies. Though it hasn't been tested at the time of this writing, Honda is aiming at the NCAP 5-star overall vehicle rating and a top safety pick plus rating for the IIHS. What others are saying. The 10th Gen Civic is a big deal for Honda, as the Civic hasn't exactly been the best looking car on the block for a while now. And, we're not the only ones who think so. Edmunds rates the 2016 Civic as a 4.5 out of 5, while Kelley Blue Book gives it a rating of 9.6 out of 10. Those aren't bad scores at all. Kelley Blue Book. Allison Harwood, an expert reviewer for Kelley Blue Book, said, the 2016 Honda Civic manages to successfully serve as a fun, sporty model that has some of the best steering, handling and driving dynamics in the segment. Edmunds. Edmunds also had something to say about the new Civic Coupe. The 2016 Honda Civic has a sharpness on the road that's been absent in recent years. Steering response is lively, and there's notably less body roll than in the previous Civic. Car and Driver. Tony Swan from Car and Driver spent some time behind the wheel of the 2016 Honda Civic and appeared to have enjoyed the time spent, saying, "Pushed hard, the coupe will do exactly that, push. It's agile, but like most front-drive cars, sporty or not, the weight bias is decidedly forward, and it's not very difficult to provoke noisy protest from the front tires in enthusiastic cornering." Prices. Pricing for the 2016 Civic Coupe has taken a small jump upwards over the last generation. The base Civic LX with the 6-speed manual transmission starts at $19,050, that's an increase of $760 over last year. Opting for higher trimmed models only makes the gap grow. The 2015 Civic Coupe L listed for $20,390, while the new 2016 version goes for $22,300. Still, the extra cost is justifiable with the improvements found on the new 10th generation Civic. Competitive pricing. As far as pricing goes, the Kia Forte Coupe will set you back less than the Civic or the BRZ 86 twins with a starting price of $16,490. The range-topping model tops out at $21,200, which is about $5,000 less than the Touring Civic or the twins with a manual transmission. Competition. Kia Forte Coupe. The Forte Coupe, Kia speak for coupe, is one of the main competitors for the Civic Coupe. Though you cannot get the Forte Coupe in the lower LX trim level, the better equipped X trim is available for just a few $100 more than the base Civic Coupe. This gives the Forte an advantage in terms of bang for the buck. Powering the Forte Coupe X is a 2.0-liter four-cylinder that produces a respectable 173 horsepower and 154 pound-feet of torque. This engine turns in fuel economy ratings of 24 mpg city and 33 mpg highway with the manual transmission. The SX trim uses a 1.6-liter turbocharged four-cylinder that produces 201 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. Read our full review on the Kia Forte Coupe here. Toyota 86. When Toyota decided to kill off the Scion brand, the Scion FRS was one of just 3 cars from the Scion lineup to be carried over into Toyota's lineup. Through a joint venture with Subaru, a rebadged version of the 86 is also sold as the Subaru BRZ. This specific model features a sporty exterior, functional and inviting interior, and is powered by a 2.0-liter, horizontally opposed four-banger that delivers 200 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque. Models equipped with a manual transmission come with a slight bump in power, producing 205 horsepower and 158 pound-feet of torque. Available in just 2 trims, at an MT, the 86 or BRZ will set you back $26,255 with an automatic or $26,975 with a manual. While that seems like a lot in comparison to entry-level models of the Civic and Forte Coupe, it's important to remember that the 86 comes well equipped in both trims, while you'll have to upgrade to the range-topping models of the Civic or Forte to have a similar list of features. Read our full review of the Toyota 86 here. Conclusion. So, does the Civic give you the best bang for your buck? Well, that really all depends on exactly what it is that you're looking for. If your primary concern is fuel economy and sporty, aggressive styling, then the Civic is for you. Even in entry-level form, it comes correct in both of those departments, far ahead of the competition. If power is more important to you, then you might be better off going with the BRZ, 86 Twins or the Forte in a higher trim level. Of course, the Civic holds its own fairly well in the 60 mph sprint with 6.8 seconds. That beats out the Forte by 1.9 seconds at best but is topped by the BRZ with a manual transmission by 0.4 seconds. On the other hand, if you're looking for something that isn't front-wheel drive, you'll be stuck with one of the twins, as neither the Civic or the Forte can be had with RWD. On a side note, it should be mentioned that the new Civic does compete with models like the BMW 2 Series Coupe and the Mercedes C-Class on an aesthetic level. Both models are more powerful and way more expensive, but the Civic can hold its own as far as looks, fit and finish, and functionality go. That's saying a lot for a car that is typically considered an econobox. Furthermore, the Civic has traditionally been a candidate for aftermarket tuning, with a wide array of aftermarket parts normally available within the first couple years of production. With a proper game plan, the Civic can be tuned to be more powerful and quicker on the go than its luxurious German counterparts. It will look just as good doing it, and will ultimately be cheaper in the long run while providing exceptional fuel economy. Now that's what you call a win-win if you're someone who enjoys turning a wrench every now and again. Love it looks far sportier than before, while still looking like a Civic turbocharged 1.5-liter is sure to inject some fun legendary reliability. Leave it headroom may be an issue for taller passengers. No manual trans option in upper trims still have to wait for sportier versions. Updated history. Updated November 20, 2015, we added a series of new images taken during the car's official debut at the 2015 Los Angeles Auto Show. Updated November 18, 2015, Honda unveiled the 2016 Civic Coupe at the 2015 Los Angeles Auto Show. Updated the 11th of November 2015, Honda officially confirmed that the new generation Civic Coupe will be making its world debut next week at the 2015 Los Angeles Auto Show. Sales will begin in early 2016. Rendering.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.